So usually counter comes from defense. So like throw as many attacks as you want at me. Right? I'm defending. I might be backing up. I'm changing angles. I'm moving. Okay, there's my counter. I waited for you to be mid-strike for me to strike. And this is where working on speed and precision comes in. Because you're just waiting for a moment. So if I'm striking you and you're moving around, defending, right? Yes, you wait for your moment to come in. Now, it's not a passive waiting. You're not just standing there, hands down, waiting. It's an active waiting. Active hands, active head, active feet. Active feet moving, right? You're moving around. Active hands, you're still defending, right? And then active head, you're moving your head off the center line to create that opening for me to miss, right? So if I keep throwing a wild hook, right? You can back up, you can roll underneath it, right? Right? That's when you throw the counter. It's when I overextend and I do something that makes me step outside of my defense. Now you can have defensive posture as a forward pressure fighter and a defensive fighter, right? So if you're fighting off your back foot and you keep pressuring me, right? Okay, I'm backing up, right? This is my defense. But I'm still active. I'm still throwing punches, I'm parrying, striking, waiting for my moment. So that's what I'm doing when I'm fighting off my back foot. Now if I'm pressuring you, I still have defensive posture, right? I'm okay. I'm moving, okay, let me block, let me kick, let me do something that gives me the next movement. So like, and that's where you find the bridge at.
Right.
It's like, what's leading up to finding the bridge? Are you just trying to force the bridge? No, right? Because if you're trying to say like I keep throwing the jab, right? Right? But I don't keep throwing the jab. I keep faking the jab, right? I'll
Yeah, I'm
fake
like,
it, and you keep reaching for it. Then I could bridge that. You're reaching for the jab, right? Because you don't know what I'm gonna do. So that's why the flow is very important. No flow, no technique, right? No movement, no technique. So technique is a mix between movement and flow. You don't have either of those, you don't have true technique. And the technique is the proper application of a movement. That's what the technique is. And you get proper application by understanding, okay, when you feel this pressure on the hand, you have multiple things you can do, right? You can
mm-hmm.
outside block, right? You can control, you can take it, or you can push it towards me, right? Or you can not worry about this hand, right? You can move out the way, right? You can do so many things, but it's just understanding, okay, if I have pressure on you, what's your next movement? What's your next movement? And it should be automatic. And it's just like what we were practicing yesterday when I'm trying to hit you and you're not even hitting me back. You're just moving me around, right? If I'm yes, and you're creating that distance from you creating off balance within my structure. Now your structure could either be moving around, right? Or it can be a static position where you're just using that position to frame,
Mm-hmm.
right? And even if it's not a full frame with the arm,
Mm-hmm.
say you come close to me and I might just frame with my shoulder, right? Also, this is a frame too. And I could use my frame to then trip you over my leg. There's so many different movements that come just from having a direct or indirect attack pattern. If I want to attack you directly, most of my stuff is going to go down straight to your center line. If I'm attacking indirectly, I'm off the center line or I'm waiting for you to attack me to then for me to attack you back, right? And what do you need to do between the attack and the defensive posture?
Between attack, defensive posture,
What's the what changes it?
a movement,
Whose movement?
my movement.
And also my movement.
Right.
Because you might be in defensive posture right now, put your hands up. You're in defensive posture right now. And as soon as I come in, now you're in more of an active posture. You might have not changed, but your objective is different now
Mm-hmm.
because you're safe from right here. I
Right.
can't hit you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now if I step in, I could kick you,
Right.
but I didn't step in. I'm just standing right here, right? I can't touch you from here. So you necessarily don't have to move. You don't have to do anything. You just stand there the whole time. But as soon as I step in, the objective changes. Either it's defense or it's offense,
Mm-hmm.
or it's posturing for either one. And posturing for it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do it, but it's just how is your stance changing and your hand placement and your body placement changing depending on what's happening, right? That's the posture part of it, right? Like I might, do this, right? But this is the active version of this movement. This is the defensive version of that movement. Because if you strike me, then that's when that comes out, right? To then create that movement that everyone knows. But usually people start right here when it's a whole movement to come out. And and you even see this with this movement, you see it with this movement, you see it with this movement, right? There's so many moves that people start at the end when it's one full gracious movement. And say you don't even strike me, right? And you just move towards me. This still is defensive because now I'm framing, you come close, I'm framing you with my leg, right? And I can use this to push you away, or I can use this to come in and create a side kick, or I can use this right here. I'm right here, and then you try to strike me. Then I'm using that, right? So there's movement within a static position in a posture that is available to you. That's why you posture. That's the whole reason behind a posture, is that it creates another set of movement, like horse stance, right? If I'm right here in horse stance, I'm not just gonna stay here and fight you in horse stance. It's a transitional movement. I'm posturing in a horse stance for balance in that moment, but then I'm striking, now I'm moving, spinning back kick, spinning heel kick, right? You're using it for something.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a reason behind the movement you're doing. You're not just, no one just does this. People just do it for no reason, right? To look cool, but there's a reasoning behind the movement. So, like if I'm striking at you, you might have different movements for the strike. It might be front hand parry, it might be backhand parry, right? You might switch stances, but it's always gonna change depending on, okay, well, I might fake and I come with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I might fake this and that and come with a leg kick. Or I might hit you with all three, right? But it's gonna change. It's never gonna be one thing, ever. That's what beginners get wrong. They think it's one thing. It's never one thing. It's multiple things.